three runners are not far behind: Graham Woods, Kevin Mansell and Kouros. Although he seems to be running well, he's not gaining, and the other runners are wondering. What are your thoughts on Kouros?
He's good, but he's hurting like hell. I don't think he's any fresher than I am. He's perhaps a better runner, but I don't think he's feeling any better. Those 12 hours must have knocked him around at the start. Could be very interesting.
Mansell also finds it interesting. He's been fighting his own battle with Kouros and has swapped places with him about 6 times.
Oh yeah, we've had a bit of a bat. Only a friendly one, mate.
How do you think Kouros is going?
Well, we looked like he was having a bit of trouble, but he was still running pretty good.
How anyone could do what these guys do is hard to imagine. In most sports, the person who comes out on top is the person with the most strength, the best training, and perhaps the greatest natural talents. So what does it take to run from Sydney to Melbourne? Well, surprisingly, it's not the legs. It's not even the heart. It's all up here. It's a battle of the mind.
It's a mind bender. It's not just a straight out putting one foot in front of the other race. It's not a race where either you're an athlete or you're not an athlete, and I think quite a number of the other runners have proved that, ones that don't have athletic ability but still continue to do well in these events, and that's the fact that it comes right down to your mental ability, and it's a race of the mind.
Yanis Kouros takes it further. He has studied meditation and runs in an almost trance-like state, saying he often feels detached from his body, watching it from outside.
In one race, there is a point which the mind is separate from the body. That's the point which I like very much, that feeling. So from that point and then, you don't feel the pain of your body.
I have to be able to empty my mind, and miles don't mean anything. The time means nothing. It's just the state of mind that's important. I have to be relaxed. Yanis is my teacher. He knows how to do it expertly. So I try to imitate him.
Judy, is there somebody that's been there with us?
Yes, it's just like...
If the dad would die today.
Late in the day on day 5, David Standeven is looking unstoppable. After a short break, he hits the road again, this time with a big media entourage. The Colossus of Roads has been discovered by the world and is a little intimidated by all the attention. Ahead lies the race to the finish. Behind lie the trio of Woods, Mansell and of course Kouros.
It's developed into a terrific race. David's running one heck of a race, and Woodsy at the back there's running really well. And Kevin is, I just can't believe how Kevin's just hung on to Kouros. I think they've just passed one another 6 times. It's just developed into a terrific race. I wish I was out there.
What about Kouros? Do you have any doubts about him this year?
Yes, I've always thought he could be beaten, and they may not beat him by the 12 hours, but I think they're going to get into Melbourne first.
Still.
We were wanted all along. I was taught to fight, taught to win. I never thought I could fail.
At sunset, Kouros has narrowed the gap to 11 kilometres, and whilst he continues to run, up ahead, Standeven is now walking more than running. Hour by hour, the gap narrows.
Don't give up, 'cause you have failed. Don't give up, you're not the only one.
Midnight, and just 2 kilometres from the finish. Standeven seems dazed, disorientated. Kouros just 5 kilometres back, seems almost fresh.
Don't give up, you still have us. Don't give up now, we're proud of who. Don't give up, you know it's never been easy.
5 days, 13 hours and 55 minutes after the race began in Sydney, an exhausted David Standeven is guided towards the finish line to take line honours. He is to say later that he couldn't remember the last 5 kilometres, nor the finish. He is beyond exhaustion. His effort, nothing short of heroic.
Please give him a warm welcome. And it's over. It's over now for David. And a marvellous run. A marvellous run. For the and what a magnificent run. David's being led away now, folks. Come on, let's hear it for David.
Just 32 minutes later, the world's greatest ultramarathoner approaches the line, looking more like a man who has just run 1,000 metres than someone who has just covered 1,011 kilometres. His corrected time of 5 days, 2 hours, 27 minutes is a new race record. The next day sees another remarkable achievement. The third man home in 5 days, 22 hours and 59 minutes is none other than Kevin Mansell. In doing so, he became just the 4th person ever to run 1,000 kilometres in less than 6 days.
One of the greatest ultramarathon runners, Kevin Mansell.
Of the rest, Graham Woods was 4th home in 6.5 days, Brian Smith 5th in 7 days, 4 hours, and Morris Taylor 6th in 7 days, 7 hours. But in an event like this, everyone who finishes can be considered a winner. They had all taken on their personal Mount Everests and succeeded. In all, 20 of the original 34 starters crossed the finish line in Melbourne.
Miles from nowhere, yes, I'll take my time.